Feeling the need to show on screen that Netflix presents something that I am currently watching on Netflix and will most likely only be able to ever watch on Netflix because those assholes hate the theater and physical media. Previously on a scene they chose not to show and instead yada yada over at the end of the first old card. It was super nice of the barnacles to avoid the eyes and mouth holes of the mask for maximum jump scare. Sudden Beatrix Kiddo, aka the bride, aka Black Mamba, aka Mommy. Also, she looks very dry for being in such a wet situation.
He's up to his ears in scanners and other jamming technology, so we're gonna lose comms the moment we're inside.
Couldn't Copley have just communicated all this to them from the comfort of his office? Why are you having your man in the chair also be a man in the field? If you lose Copley, who's manning the bulletin board with all the pictures of the team from the past? What? Are you gonna give that job to Joe? Joe can't do that f***ing job. Also, comms are blocked on an away mission cliche.
Question. Do we ever get any days off?
You're such a millennial, Niall.
Acting like paid work leave only started in 1981. It's bad enough it didn't start until the 1940s. Don't shortchange the already terrible history of how we've treated our workforce, Andy.
Don't worry. It's not going to be like 1853.
Inside jokes lasting more than 10 years.
It was Booker. His head was blown clean off by a cannon. We couldn't find it in a maze.
And he couldn't help for obvious reasons.
Later, Joe will reattach his thumb after it gets cut off, and I'm guessing this means they have to keep up with their appendages when they lose them. But we saw in the previous movie that their insides grow back together and their bullet wounds close up when they've been shot or mutilated. So wouldn't their arms, legs, and thumbs, let's say, grow back as well? And if there are different rules for these various types of injuries, how the f*** do you even figure that out?
He's only got one weapon.
You sure?
Do I need to remind you you're not immortal?
Does someone need to remind Andy she's not either? I have no idea how they started this mission, but it seems super odd that they don't already have guns so they don't have to depend on attacking someone peeing outside by a tree to acquire one. Somehow Joe's thumb is cut clean off, even though the blunt part of the blade is what is currently closest to his appendage. Even worse, it looks like the only thing that touched his thumb was the other guy's thenar eminence. And while the words thenar eminence sound really important and potentially hazardous, they are not. They are squishy and not at all sharp enough to perfectly detach anything. Holy shit, they don't have to hotwire either of these cars. I guess they have the keys already in the ignition. Also, this creepy-ass compound with its art pop animal cracker-filled hedge maze.
What? No sex swing?
Someone has been watching too much of The Boys. The casual way this person handles a box that seems to be labeled infectious substances. He signals to Andy to check out the sword selection above her head because for some reason she didn't come to this mission with any f***ing weapons and needed to accidentally herself upon some sharp swords. Yes, swords.
Shall I?
Nope. I always go first.
Except for a minute ago.
All right, we're heading in.
And you did not go first.
Let's give these guys a run!
Isn't that what you've already been doing? Also, the guys on the motorcycles have guns that they aren't even attempting to use as the cars come nearer to them. What did she think was going to happen? She was going full speed at a flight of stairs. Oh, look, the motorcycle duo is still opting not to shoot. This car crash is not shown with an aerial shot. That would have been really cool, which is probably why the movie didn't do that.
Move! Stay on my 6.
Anyone else find it odd that in military-type situations, soldiers still use standard time assessments for coordinating themselves? Shouldn't Niall be telling Andy to stay on her 1200? No, just me? Fair enough. I'll send myself then. Because running on the slippy banisters is way better than running on the stairs. The movie will never apologize for killing this man too quickly, robbing us of an explanation regarding his terrible art choices.
Looks good on you.
Looting the weapons dealer doesn't make stealing okay. They stroll out of the murder palace, appearing to be very confident that there are no more bad guys after the red robe boss fight. Maybe they're immortal and have spidey senses.
You know the worst part about being mortal? Just f***ing hangovers.
I'm pretty sure the you can die part still takes precedent. Also, technically Joe, Nikki, and Niall are mortal as well. As they say over and over in these movies, the immortality can end. So really, they're just regular people with more than one life. They're really less like immortals and more like cats. For the record, I might not know how cats work. Also, considering all the drinking Andy has most certainly done over the centuries, once she became mortal, how is her liver still functioning?
I'm at peace.
Didn't look that peaceful when you were throwing that guy out the window.
Being the person that has to point out a flaw in every declaration.
I mean, I'm mortal. I'm not retired.
But isn't that kind of the exact time you should retire? Immortals becoming mortals should be the equivalent of turning 65. Considering how many centuries she's been around, Andy's net worth and social security benefits have to be insane.
She's in a room, an ancient room, surrounded by books.
Here we go again with the dreaming thing. How does it work? Discord isn't a new immortal, and neither is Tua. So Niall is showing abilities to dream about plot-related instances. Neat! In case you confused it with Paris, Tennessee.
Booker.
Previously on an actual scene from the old guard. Also, in case you forgot the conversation that was had about Booker less than 15 minutes ago, Quynh will be nice enough to remind us of his name right here as well, because it's super common to just say a person's name when they enter a room instead of hello, or what the f*** are you doing in my apartment, Selena Gomez? There are no murders in my building. And then we laugh, cry, and play a game of Uno, and she never f***ing tells me why she just showed up in my apartment.
I've been waiting for a very long time.
Lady, you didn't even know who Booker was before you were cast to sea for an eternity. And even if you were dreaming about Booker the whole time, I spent an entire movie with him already, and he's not that goddamn memorable or worth waiting a very long time to meet.
We're following him.
Joe is headed from Croatia to Trieste, which is a 13-hour drive, or a shared plane ride. And he doesn't notice anyone following him for the entire trip. And yes, I know they went from Croatia to Trieste, because this is in Trieste. I looked it up on the Google Maps, okay?
Andromache.
Seriously, what is up with this universe where people greet others by saying their name instead of just saying hello?
I almost completely stopped believing in our purpose until a friend of mine discovered a ripple effect.
But we won't outline that specific ripple effect again because it was pointed out to us that we were focusing on the good people Andy saved and not the countless others that wind up sharing their Netflix passwords with too many households like a bunch of assholes.
How old are you then?
Asking anyone this question. There's such a weird reaction here when Charlize cuts in front and goes into the secret room first that I almost wonder if it was a miscue on both actors' parts or the movie really wants us to give a f*** about this Andy always goes first running bit.
This is all about immortals.
Yeah, cool. But can we talk about Tua's handy job at lighting these little plaque thingies? That's really impressive. No, wait, let's focus on the winged lion wrapped in a snake. Is this a cult center? This is a cult center, isn't it?
What happened over there?
Tua's systematically turned every book gray in order to make this the most boring library in the world?
Who is she to her?
She's gone by many names over the years. She goes by Discord now.
Sounds ominous.
Could be worse. She could go by Cypher, right, Andy?
She is older than any of us.
Cool. Now explain why no one dreamed of her as has been the established immortal MO up until now. Go on. I'll wait. And for every minute remaining in this movie where this is not explained, I shall add 1 cent.
And now that she knows your histories, your relationships, I believe that all of you could be in danger.
For a race of beings that are determined to not let anyone find out they exist, it's super f***ing odd that one of them wrote every goddamn detail about them down in books.
I think you should pack a bag.
I already have.
I suppose it's the sort of bag that sits around waiting for someone to show up before being relevant, because Tua didn't need to pack a bag and wait around for Andy. This entire scene could have been contained in a note on a fridge.
Something's happened to Booker.
Something has also happened to Andy and Copley's phones, apparently, because no one called them on their long-ass way back from Seoul for an update. Honestly, it seems like anyone meeting up at all is a miracle. The stupid design of this rooftop. You know that I don't know what that says, but with the power of some translation assistance, let's hear if it's close.
Andromache,
Good so far.
I have returned to a world darker than the tomb. I finally escaped.
Looks like you f***ed it.
Find me where you always could.
Or I could have just tailed Booker and met up with you that way, but I enjoy being more dramatic with my scroll calligraphy and shit.
If our places were swapped, would you let me go alone?
It's actually quite nice to see two strong women in a confident dialogue exchange that isn't centered around their relationship with a man. I mean, in this case, it's a relationship with a woman, so maybe it's not that much different. Can I still say this fails the Bechdel test so I can claim a sin? Remember the last movie when Copley had identified all the ways Andy had impacted humanity? It's wild that the books omitted the annihilation of the city and all its people, which she apparently did while in some sort of rage.
What if she doesn't recognize me?
Andy being more concerned about this than Quynh chopping her head off or leaving her in an Iron Maiden at the bottom of the ocean for the last 500 years.
I've been like this for hundreds of years.
Why didn't Andy try to find her again after scuba gear was invented? Or sonar? The movie asks us to sort of feel bad for her because she's been in her own hell over it all, but she could have done something more as times changed, right? Staring, walking, excitement?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Saying you're so sorry with your eyes closed, twice.
You couldn't even find me in one small area of ocean.
Is Quynh not aware of how big the ocean is? Because I don't think Quynh is aware of how big the ocean is.
You're with Discord.
Andy then chooses to go back into the fight with her love because Quynh is with Discord. And honestly, shouldn't Andy be sort of thankful that Discord saved Quynh? Without Discord, Quynh would be suffering forever. Show some fucking gratitude. Quynh is addicted to the no take-backs rule when it comes to gifts. I get that Andy super loves Quynh, but running all the way from the Angelino restaurant to the Supreme Court seems a bit much. Quynh lost you along the way, Andy, probably as you sprinted past the busy streets near the Pantheon. But I guess the movie wanted to prove that it did shoot some of the movie in Italy, so
I was there, you know.
bragging about being at the goddamn crucifixion. Also, how is it whenever there's a movie about immortals, they're always at every major event in the history of the world? It's way more likely they'd miss a few of these events because they were hanging out in Canada that day.
Andromache's obsession with interfering with human affairs is the reason we're hunted.
We've seen very little proof they are being hunted. The only reason Dudley Dursley found out about them was because of Copley's obsession and research. We've seen no evidence that others have researched them, other than Tua, who apparently writes everything down about them. Why isn't Discord more pissed off at Tua? His records are the real problem in this scenario. If her goal is to keep the immortal on a secret, which, yeah, it's not, but we don't know that yet.
You are the last immortal.
They really need to come up with a different name because, like I've already said, if you can eventually lose your power and be killed, you are not fucking immortal. Oh, nice. Niall has a birthmark just like Discord, making her the last immortal. What a cool payoff from the first movie where we absolutely would have seen this same birthmark. Oh, what a surprise. The first movie was not prepared for the bullshit stories in the second. I am shocked. Womp womp.
Clearly, Discord has the ability to find us.
Well, yeah, you've just flown from Italy back to your library house in Seoul where she knows you live. You're not making it not easy to find you.
What does it mean? I'm the last.
That seems pretty self-explanatory, Niall. Leaving your flower just lying around on the desk. You want high ants? Because this is how you get high ants.
Drop your weapons.
It's obvious they had other plans to take out the guards, but I can't figure out if Quynh thought they would actually drop their weapons and allow the bad guys into the nuclear facility because of one guard's life being threatened. Because if she did, she's dumb. Like Billy Rosewood.
Police! You're all under arrest!
Levels of dumb. The guard, who just lost a ton of his work buddies to these two invaders, doesn't shoot them from a distance. And while one wouldn't have died, he could have taken out the other.
Really?
Why not?
I know they're immortal, but there's still no reason to sword fight practice with real f***ing swords. Remember when her birthmark was missing in the first movie? Seems to be doing a bit of a repeat disappearing act for this one too. Earlier, Tua told Booker,
There was a legend that Discord and I had heard of centuries ago. It tells that a wound from the last immortal has the power to take away anyone else's immortality. The legend also states that the wounded immortal may bestow the gift of immortality to another.
so maybe Booker wants to be mortal again to help Andy or whatever, but Tua has given no indication he's interested in being mortal. And he knows what a stab from Niall could cause, so why is he getting involved?
I can already tell it. It's not healing. And we don't have much time left.
How does Tua know how much time Booker has to transfer his immortality to Andy? How do they even know they can still transfer the immortality after being made mortal? They literally have these drawings to go by, and that's f***ing it. How does this even show them how to make the transfer?
Andy can't know about this.
How exactly does Booker think Andy won't figure out what he did for her? Andy is smart, catches on quick, and Booker has known her for a few hundred years. He should fucking know better. The absolute uselessness of a clear screen in front of a row of books, even if the books are monotone.
She wants us. All of us.
Now would be a great time for Tua to tell everyone what he thinks Discord's plan is in using Niall, but he won't because reasons.
What I feel when I see you, when I see your heart, that's truly immortal.
It's also truly skippable. Skip! For a top secret black site, it seems weird that they decided to construct this facility as a see-through glass building.
It would be ill-advised to discharge any firearm in the vicinity of the core.
I feel like it would also be ill-advised to ride your motorcycles right up to the front door if you're trying to be covert, but here we are.
Remember, we have to assume they have our positions at all times.
Calmly talking to them like 5 out of the 6 haven't been doing this kind of shit for the last several centuries.
Okay. They want to go hand to hand.
Considering all the warnings Copley gave about firing guns in this facility, why does anyone even f***ing have them?
Remember, there's always an asshole.
Not really sure this is a good time for a biology lesson, Booker, but you do you. I hear everyone poops as well. Should we bring that up?
No!
The Amazon! Sorry, I thought we were shouting out names of rivers.
This was her plan all along. Discord wants to separate us.
The entire team knew they were going into a nuclear trap. This entire thing is part of plans within plans. Nothing should be a surprise. Boy, it sure was convenient that everyone was standing in the perfect spot to be body blasted by some liquid nitrogen. Deus ex machina.
I gave it to you.
Booker didn't want to tell Andy earlier, but felt like now was a good time to let her know. Reading! Now that Quynh is annihilated and absolutely mortal, I can see where this is going. This is going to be a Romeo and Juliet thing.
I used to think it was my job to save you. But in the end, each one of us has to decide for ourselves who we really are.
So does that mean if Quynh is the type of person who can kill 10 million innocent people that we're cool with that? Because that's f***ed up.
Circle round!
I wonder what the need to gloat and circle around budget adds to the gas bill for the helicopter trip. Oh, cool. We're going to get a fight between two people who can't be killed. Outside of them not killing millions of people and doing probably billions of dollars to downtown real estate, this is about as unexciting as the final battle in Man of Steel. And yeah, we're going to find out Discord is mortal now, but the fight still makes no sense and is stupid. I'm taking my toys and going home.
You're mortal. This had nothing to do with immortal interference, did it?
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, I don't really care.
Time means nothing if you give it no meaning.
Speaking of no meaning, is the fight suddenly over because Discord is mortal? I mean, Andy has stepped within slashing distance and could take her out, so do it. Do it, and then go find your buddies. It's not like you are running out of time to figure out where they are.
She can take their immortality.
She'll never hurt them.
You think I'm going to give her a choice?
I feel like Niall has the upper hand since she's actually immortal and Discord isn't, so this whole plan makes no f***ing sense.
I will come for them!
But not yet. That's next time on The Old Guard, Older but Bolder.
And when you do, the playing field will be level.
Okay, but Andy is clearly already outmatched despite her foreverness. Like, Discord could take her out right now. She could zip tie her in a little baggie and add her to the Immortal Collection. The only reason to leave her behind is so the fans beg for the third movie to enter production. Go bag! Needs to be sinned! I wonder what the hangout until the main helicopter leaves so we can ride off together into the sunrise budget adds to the bill for the helicopters. Reading books like a cat buries its shit. I guess these two are good now? These Old Guard movies like to yada yada over a lot of shit. What's the point of avoiding the doctor's office now? Are they living in fear of Discord finding them? Because they are, once again, hiding out in the library house that Discord knows how to get into. So go get stitched up by a pro and get a goddamn antibiotic. After 3 and a bit minutes of silence on screen, we are about to finally hear whatever important thing one of them will say.
There's a lot I hate about this century. But this, I like.
Fashion!
Are you gonna do what you do best and fight by my side?
Andy asking her this, knowing she's mortal now. If the third movie doesn't have a scene where they return to this library only to find it burned down because they forgot to blow out a few candles, I will riot. Ending your movie on a cliffhanger. This isn't a TV show, god damn it.
Swim with the fishes, you zombie bastard! Meep meep! Ah, Kelly Clarkson!
You know the worst part about being mortal?
All the damn vampires.
I'm at peace.
And you go in pieces, asshole.
Hey, look, kids. There's Big Ben and there's Parliament.
She goes by Discord now.
We have to assume that our Black Ops team has full control of the system.
Everyone knows when you make an assumption, you make an ass out of you and umption.
What are you afraid of?
I'm afraid of heights.
Don't be a pussy.
I said, goddamn! Goddamn!